And I'm back with more Dual Destinies. Time to talk to Filch. Time to talk to Filch. Oh dear. Oh, this is gonna be annoying. It's the curse! It's the curse of Tenma Taro! Hey! You outsiders were ignoring them superstitions at our peril. Mind your own business, will ya? Hey! What's all this about a curse? Tenma Taro's gonna curse us all unless you stop sticking your nose where you don't belong. Stop the investigation. Listen to what them superstitions say. Right, how about obeying the law before you obey superstition? Eh? Hey! What are you doing with Widget? You know better than to go stealing people's stuff. Same goes for my bracelet. Sorry. Promise I won't do it again. Duh. You almost kidnapped my sweet little Widget. Big jerk. I'm sorry. I guess you can't teach an old raccoon dog new tricks. As long as we have him here, I better ask him what happened. I can't believe you did that! I want to steal a pair of shoes, but to steal Widget? Hey! Mercy! Mercy! I can't control myself. That's a thieving blood running through my veins. Thieving blood? What's that supposed to mean? Glad you asked. Infamous bandit Azuki Gozo was my grandpappy. Take a gander. What am I looking at? Some of those yokai to me. None other than the Azuki Gozo. Robbed from the rich and gave the poor, he did. I ain't leave one of them figurines at the scene of the crime. What's more, I'm his grandson because he was my grandpappy. I swear I've probably done 3 different variations in his voice so far, and I can't keep him straight. Well, you don't say. Thieves' honor! It's honest truth. It's like the closest I can get to him is like the dude from the Hickfield Clinic, Mr. Hottie. Sloshing sounds of the Azuki beans scraping together in the dead of night. It's the magical sound of dirty money always getting washed clean for giving out to the poor. I'm Azuki Gozo, washer of money, giver out her wealth reborn. Forget the money. You should be watching yourself with this nasty habit. Ah! Wait a minute. This figure looks familiar. It looks like that old dusty one. Ugh. Owie! What are you doing with that there figure? Oh, I guess we found it in the Forbidden Chamber. Looks like it's practically there forever. Could mean my grandpappy broke into the Forbidden Chamber way back. Hey, that reminds me. He once told me there was a treasure in there. Treasure? What do you know about it? Only that the greatest get-rich-quick scheme in the universe. Grandpappy told me about it. Said there's some amazing treasure in there. Something amazing. Can't see anything like that, though. Your grandfather didn't already steal it, did he? Seeing as one of his figures in there, it just might be. That's Grandpappy for you. Bet he washed that treasure up real good before handing it out to the poor. Of course, because he's so righteous. And Cordy, you mentioned seeing Tenma Taro at the scene of the crime. Sorry it didn't come clean right away, but superstitions got the better of me. People in Ninetales Vale sure take that as a superstition bunch. Or a superstitious bunch. I'm not surprised you wouldn't want to talk about it. That's darn right! Them superstitions scare me out of my wits, I tell you. That's why I'm gonna do exactly what they say from now on. So you plan on staying here in Ninetales Vale? Yep. I'm gonna be living right here, Keeping up with the old ways, just like Grandpappy. Damn superstitions are like a rule book to me. Wait, so you're saying you actually believe in those old tales? Ain't you been listening to a word I said? You're gonna do exactly what they say? Well, that's baloney.
Take that!
It's clearly written right here. Ignoring the superstitions will cost you your soul. There is, however, one way to save it. Your immediate departure from the village. Eh? So according to this, you shouldn't even be here, let alone talking to us. You said you plan on staying right here? If you really believed in the superstitions, you would have been long gone by now. I know you've been lying to me. Time to come clean, Mr. Filch. You were lying about believing in them, weren't you? I'm sorry, but I didn't have a choice. So what was the real reason you couldn't talk? It's all that pretty boy's fault. Mr. LaBelle, if you know what I mean. He told me not to say a word about seeing it. Said if I did, he'd do to me what them superstitions said would happen. So it's Mr. LaBelle who muzzled you? Why would he want to scare you into silence? He's trying to protect that little maid gal. It was on account of that rumor. What about her being possessed? That rumor again. Guess you really do have to talk to Mayor Tenma about the possession. Yoink! Hey, watch it! I'll be taking this back now. Kinda like family to me. You just asked instead of stealing it. Is that all you wanted to ask? I think that was it. Let's go see Mr. Tenma Taro one more time. Yeah. What makes me just want to say pass. And I hopefully never have to deal with this dork again. Anyway, I'd rather deal with Tenma Taro. Rumor about Jinxie. Okay. Lord Tenma, your attorneys are here. Oh. Why are you speaking like that? Oh, Mayor Tenma, you've returned. Yes, well, Jinxie came by earlier to apply a new charm. Seems to be suppressing the demon within me. Well, that's a relief. Maybe we'll actually get somewhere. So what can I do for you today? We'd like to ask about the rumor that Jinxie's possessed. Ugh. She allegedly left the yokai evidence at the scene of while under a demon's power. At least that's what the prosecution's going to claim tomorrow. Yeah! Uh-oh, crap. No match is this warding charm for me. He's back! Those foolish mortals. They shall regret blaming that child for my doings. I blew it. My question brought him back. He probably won't drop the act until her name's cleared. We'd like to ask you something about Florent LaBelle. Did you know Jinxie is rumored to have been possessed? I know not what you speak. You're not trying to protect her, are you? I, Tenma Taro, demon, no lord of the yokai, protect a mere mortal. That's my way of getting around that while laughing. No affections do I possess for your race of humans. Please, we already proved there was a third party disguised as a yokai. But if you deny that tomorrow, we'll never be able to clear his name. But I have already told you. I know not of what you speak. I don't think we're going to get any more out of him. It's all over unless we can prove that Jinxie didn't plant the evidence. Hey, Apollo. I think I've got this one. I think I can prove she didn't do it. Really? Sure. I should be able to use psychology to explain this whole possession thing. Knock yourself out. Man, she's really something. Can actually count on her when it counts. Uh-oh. Mayor Tenma, Jinxie isn't possessed. I believe her so-called possession episodes are a form of somnambulism. Wait, you mean sleepwalking? Yes. I believe she's exhibiting a rare form of the disorder. It's usually brought about by repressed stress. Mr. Mayor, don't her symptoms start soon as she began her job in Ninetales Vale? When the child visited last, she did speak of dreading yokai and how they rob her of sleep each night. I knew it. That lack of sleep is causing her to enter an unconscious state. And that means she can't be trying to protect you, at least on a conscious level. So then the Tenma Taro spotted wasn't Jinxie? Sleepwalking, huh? That would explain the matter. He's back! He left his body. Can you tell us the truth now? Very well. It's the least I can do for a superb exorcist like you. Mayor Tenma, you didn't leave those feathers and tracks at the scene, did you? I did not. Neither I nor Jinxie have anything to do with that. That was the killer's doing, no doubt. I knew it! You suspect Florent is behind all this? But why? Did he really want Ninetales Vale that badly? Can you think of a reason why? Looking back, he did seem fixated on Tenma Taro for a spell. Could it be? Perhaps he was attempting to release it. That's crazy. Are you saying that yokai's real? Whatever the case, he brings nothing but pain and misfortune. It's as the superstitions warn. You must not gaze upon him, nor free him from that prison. How can people actually believe that? Well, at least we know who's behind this whole Tenma Taro thing. And I think we need to have another nice long chat. Hey, your dinner's ready. Ah, an offering to the Demon King. You may place it right there. The kitchen crew poured their heart and soul into making it. Did they now? Souls happen to be a favorite of mine. Just hold the hearts next time. How long is he planning to keep this up? Well, we've already talked to Filch and Tenma, so why don't we just see LaBelle? We want to know the truth. We won't be able to claim that the Tenma Taro was Jinxie or anyone anymore. The real question is, how are we going to get him to admit it was him? Okay, let's practice this again, Filchy. From the top. And Mr. LaBelle was in the foyer at the time of the crime. And when we heard a scream, heck, what was that? Wait, what was that part again? You have the memory capacity of a flea. This is the 13th time you know. Now 100 times more and we're done. What on earth are they practicing? Oh, I ain't cut out for this. Whoopsie daisy. Oof. Begging your pardon, sir. This is... Unbelievable. What if you'd sullied my outfit with those grubby paws of yours? Did he just filch his wallet? What do you think they're up to this time? Oh, it's you two. Eavesdropping, are you? You peasants are so tacky. Well, what do you want with me? Your confession of being Tenma Taro would be nice right about now. Mr. Filch filled me in on a conversation you two had. About how you told him not to say a word about seeing Tenma Taro. Filch, you fool! I told you nothing good would come of you running your mouth. So why did you want to keep him quiet like that? Why, to protect darling little Jinxie, of course. She was never really possessed. She was sleepwalking. Being asleep at the time, she couldn't have been consciously trying to protect the mayor. And it also means she couldn't have possibly been Tenma Taro. Interesting. But where are you going with this? Since you asked so politely, I believe you have a different reason for trying to keep Mr. Filch quiet. And the reason would be to deflect doubt away from whoever really was Tenma Taro. Oh, now this is getting interesting. Are you insinuating that I'm Tenma Taro? So sorry to disappoint, but I'm nothing of the sort. That's right! He even told me Tenma Taro was dead. Why would you? I said Tenma Taro was Jinxie, you fool. Honestly, you have the memory capacity of a flea. Practice it 100 more times. So, have you been called in to testify tomorrow? Yes, and I'm so looking forward to my courtroom debut. But you'll just have to wait till then. Oh, I'll be waiting. The special piece of evidence I've been saving just for you. Filchy, wake up, you lazy bones. What? Was I sleeping? Must have been that sweet cologne of yours. It made me right sleepy. Well, it's time for your lesson on what to do and say tomorrow. I'm begging you, not another one! I ain't cut out for this thinking, remembering stuff. Right up the snooze ruler! Keep quiet and do exactly as I say. Please, anything but another lesson. There they go. Missed our chance to get the truth out of them. Yeah, but we'll get the proof we need in the courts one way or another. All that's left now is that lie Jinxie told. Better go clear that up. Think they're done questioning her? Let's go see if she's down at Yokai Lane. Okay. Duh! Accursed nine-tailed fox. Time, my grudge has but festered. All vengeance will be mine. Oh god, she must be sleepwalking again. Maybe if I speak softly, I won't startle her and get a charm plaster to my forehead. Jinxie. Jinxie. Huh? Oh, Mr. Demon Lawyer. My charms must have fallen off again. Guess I can avoid a charm slap. Are they done questioning you? Uh-huh. And on my way back, I stopped here to buy a new charm that was just released. Yeah? Which one? Oh, one with 19th Fox and Tenma Taro. They're dancing together. Really? Two bitter rivals dancing together? Uh-huh. It's a charm for rebuilding burnt bridges. Oh, right. For the merger issue. No, it's for the demon lawyer and the insomniac prosecutor. It'll stop you two from fighting like you did in court this morning. We weren't fighting. It's just a spirited... God! Fuck! No fighting! Charm slap again. If you're done playing around, let's figure out what she was lying about. Jinxie, it seems like you're starting to remember things. You already said the feathers and tracks weren't there when you discovered the crime. Have you remembered anything else that seems important?
Like what?
That's what you saw that day. Maybe you'll remember something this time.
Huh?
Uh-oh.
When I opened the door, Papa and Alderman QB were collapsed in the chamber. That's when Papa told me to call an ambulance and the police. That's all he said before we passed out on the chair.
Oh. I knew it. She's holding something back.
Gotcha!
You were very nervous when you said that's all he said. I know, because I saw your fingers move as if you were going to slap someone.
Huh?
Listen to me, Jinxie. This is very important. Did he say anything else to you?
It was nothing. He was just talking in his sleep.
Talking in his sleep? So you admit he did say something else? Oh!
How could you tell? Only a demon could have such powers.
Or a person with a strategy guide. That too.
Like I said, he was just talking in his sleep. I mean, why else would Papa say something like that?
Could you be a little more specific?
Before he fainted, he said,
"Forgive me, Jinxie. I killed Alderman QB."
He said, what?
Mayor actually confessed to the crime?
But he didn't mean it. He couldn't possibly have known what he was saying. He was probably possessed, or maybe he was in the middle of a nightmare.
Nightmare? No, this is a nightmare. This is one statement I wish I hadn't heard. What in the world are we gonna do now? Ah, crap. Right. Just believe in my client. Even if all that I can see ahead is darkness and despair. Jinxie, does Prosecutor Blackwell know about your father's confession?
I didn't mention it when he was questioning me. I mean, there's no way he's the killer.
Why would the mayor confess like that? Could he really have been dreaming or simply delirious? Who knows? But I sure feel like I'm in a living nightmare right now. What are we gonna do about tomorrow's trial? The crime scene was locked tight until Jinxie arrived, and now our client even confessed. Not only that, but Jinxie's been accused of planting the evidence. Both the mayor and Jinxie are gonna be going to prison if we don't do something. I know. Let's see. The lack of a third party in the locked room is a major problem. She testified that when she first opened the door, Alderman QB and Mayor Tenma were the only people in the chamber. But the real killer must have been hiding in there as well. Considering the room was locked tight, it's the only logical explanation. Our mystery person must have fled the scene when it was open. And that's when Jinxie saw what she saw.
Papa and the alderman were the only people there. I didn't see anyone else.
What's going on? The Bell's extremely pale, but he's far from transparent. So how did he hide himself at the scene of the crime? Whatever it takes in court tomorrow, Apollo. We have to take down that dirty, rotten Tenma Taro Floret LaBelle. Right. We'll get him with that legal exorcism justice style. Oh boy, long day of recording. Good chunk of episodes. Alright, I'll start the trial next time.